Good evening. I'm going to try to read a couple of real prison poems this evening. The first one is called Mad as Adam. I'm not going to say much more about it because I don't particularly want the guy to be identified. This is part of a number of poems I wrote called Prison Portraits. I want to do this one and the next one, in fact, I want to do simply because of the amount of interest that's been shown in actual real prison poems trying to explain what life is like. And of course, you can't do that without talking about the people. I think it's interesting for people to know that you can't choose who you're in prison with. It sounds an obvious thing to say, but you can't choose what crime they've committed or what crimes they may commit. And you have to put up with it, which can be extremely difficult. In fact, I would say it's the most difficult thing. This poem's called Mad as Adam. The words will be published on my website. And again, if you like the ideas, some of the ideas brought up in this, then please subscribe to this channel just to get a bit of momentum so that we can get some reform in prison. Thank you. Mad as Adam. Dan dubious, this jaded Janus, a prison personality of palindromic propensity. This Adam needs no Eve, nor Eden's garden. In his 20s, tallish, thin, sad, sullen eyes that crave no contact. Curly black hair, black threadbare beard, draped in poorly fitting prison clothes, shod in black, shabby, shapeless shoes that aggravate his gawky, gangling gait. He spends his time almost entirely in his insalubrious, apocalyptic cell, citing stanzas of satanic superficiality. His short-lived shambling sorties along the linoleum-lined landings only to observe the officers and the officers, or to fetch his food, the formidable forbidden fruit. He stares out of the windows when confronted with the gaze of another. At exercise time, he paces up and down, alone, unlike a normal prisoner. As he steps forward, his head moves back, like a dog in a car's rear window. He shakes no human hand, nor touches any potentially polluting parts of the passing prison population. He comes to my cell sometimes seeking supper, muesli, white bread, oats, sugar, or something sweet, any untouched matter that might aid his meditation. He talks occasionally of his contacts in Qatar, but mostly of marvelous, mysterious magic, stones that send signals, particles that penetrate and persecute, practicing the black arts. Beware these eyes of Mars. We are next-door neighbours, separated by a pathetic poultry partition. He paces the floor as if a caged animal, talking in terrifying torrents, invoking an invisible inmate, inhabiting the inner reaches of his gloomy, doom-laden cell. The beats of his feet keep my mind from sleep. In desperation, one night, I bang on the wall. The attempt to attenuate this anti-meridian noise yields alarm and surprise. "Who's banging?" he cries, as if I too harbour a ghostly guest. He is rarely rude, seldom crude, but often animated. He reminds me that any complaints should be addressed to his supernatural cellmate or those on the land above. When I return from work, he is waiting. He invites me into his flat, his delirious description of a prison cell. Suddenly, he locks the door to better concentrate my mind. He knows that I have psychic powers and vertiginous visions. I explain that I cannot comprehend all this marvelous, mysterious magic. On a copy of the Financial Times that I'd given him, he points to where were written the names of the planets. In his opinion, indubitable proof of my potency. In my opinion, an attempt to solve a crossword. I explained that in any case, the writing is not mine, that I'd pass the paper to someone else before him. I'm convinced he warns me of his powers. The end is nigh, unless I submit to something. The fearful object of my submission is unclear. I beat a hasty retreat and lock myself in my cell, determined that Adam, damned to madness, should be in another type of institution, along with so many in this madhouse. Thank you.